Hello and welcome back to Starting Your Investment Journey audio series. Now, we're still talking about finance and investment generally, and if you've skipped the previous episodes, I want to advise you to go back to them before you come to this one, because if you've not been following, you may not understand where we are. But if you've been following through everything step by step, you are welcome. Now, at this point in this series, something interesting happens to people. Now, people start to believe, if I understand investing, then I will automatically do well. In fact, I will become rich and all of those things. But in reality, that is not true, right? Because knowing is not the same as doing. Most investment failures are not knowledge failures. Now, sometimes they are behavior failures. So you can understand inflation, you can understand risk, you can understand asset classes, you can understand financial instruments, and still lose money. Not because you were ignorant, but because you were emotional under pressure. And that's the real problem in investing, right? So what we're talking about today is the psychology of investing, right? Why people lose money even when they understand the rules, right? Because of this thing about emotion, because there is a human part of investing. So investment does not usually fail in calm conditions. It usually fails in emotional conditions. So usually when prices are failing or prices are falling and everybody is panicking, the news is negative and uncertainty is high, that is when decisions are made. And when people make decisions under that kind of system, they usually run into a loss. So market itself does not destroy wealth. People destroy their own positioning in the market. Now, let's look at some of the reasons why people make wrong investment under pressure in the markets. Number one is what we call the FOMO effect. I'm sure you must have heard of FOMO before. It means fear of missing out. FOMO. Now, what does that mean? It happens when people see others making money and they rush in late. Not because they understand the investment, but because they fear that they are being left behind. They heard that this person made money from this business, this person made money from this investment, and then they enter into it. But by the time they enter into it, they entered late. And of course, they may lose money. So the problem is that by the time something feels obvious in the market, most of the opportunities has already moved. So most people enter late and lose money. Number two is the panic behavior. I say number one is the FOMO effect. Number two is the panic behavior. Now, panic behavior is the opposite. FOMO is that everybody is buying and they are making money and you want to go into it. Now, for panic, this one is that prices are falling and you want to assume that, the way this price is falling is going to get to zero. So they exit at the worst possible time. Not because the investment is bad, but because the emotion is strong. What if the market reversed and it started going back up again? But the person already exited and they stopped their loss. So, of course, there are times when you actually need to exit when the market is going down. But you're not going to do it emotionally. You're going to do it strategically because you know that this thing, there's no future in this and I have to stop it. But you don't just stop it because the price is going down and you are afraid, right? So you don't make a panic decision. You make a strategic decision. Number three is herd behavior. HERD, herd behavior. So that one is when you follow the crowd. Most people generally, they don't think independently. They follow the crowd. They listen to the influencer online. They listen to one guru, one financial expert. It tells them that they should buy this. So if everybody is buying something, they buy. If everybody is selling, they sell. But market does not reward that kind of following the trend. It rewards independent thinking. It doesn't reward crowd thinking. So the key reality is that in investing, the crowd is usually late. So anytime something becomes popular, you heard about it late. The crowd is usually late. The crowd is never early. The crowd is never precise. The crowd is just emotional. So don't make an investment decision to buy or sell because an online influencer or an investment guru says so. Do your independent research before you make your decision. So it's not just about financial instruments. It also applies to other asset classes, right? So before you buy a land or property in an area because everybody is buying there, do your research. Before you start an online business or before you start a business because you hear that they say that there's money in that business, do your research. Before you buy gold, crypto, or federal government bond, before you buy a corporate bond because it's trending online, do your research. Note that successful investing is not about predicting perfectly. It's about staying consistent when others panic. It's about staying patient when others rush. It's about staying disciplined when emotions rise. There's a particular crypto coin that I have that it has been going down recently, and I was considering, do I still want to stay in this market or not? And I have a particular guy that is especially very good when it comes to crypto market. And I asked him what he thought about that particular analysis. And it feels like, sir, you should not sell this thing. This thing is going to come back. It's going to increase in the future. It's going to come back. And when he did the explanation and when he did the analysis, I felt like this is very good. This is a good one. But generally, in the market, that particular coin, people are selling it. People are selling it. So you don't just follow the market, you follow a proper understanding. So here's an important insight. The biggest risk is not the market. The biggest risk is how you react to the market. Now, let me use an example to illustrate this. Now, let's say that two people buy the same investment. Let's say bond or shares or mutual fund. And maybe person A checks the market every day and he reacts to every change. Person B follows a plan, ignores the noise, and play the long game. The same asset, different outcomes. One may lose money and the other one may gain money. Why? Behavior. That's just it. So as you can see, the real question is not that what is the best investment. The real question is, can I behave correctly while holding this investment? Now, why does this matter? Because even the best investment strategy fails if behavior is inconsistent. If you are not someone that is disciplined, that you can keep your emotions under, if you go into investment, you may lose your money. Now, here is the core principle in investing. Consistency builds intensity every single time. So now, let's move from behavior and let's move to structure. Because once you understand how people behave wrongly, you can design systems that protect them that protect you from all of those kind of things. Right? And that is where portfolio thinking begins. So we are beginning to go gradually into how you begin to practically build your investment. You can see that so far what we've done is to invest in understanding so that you understand these things before you even start at all. So what we're going to look at in the next episode, the next series of episodes, is to look at how to begin to think in terms of portfolio. So thank you very much and see you in the next episode.